everyone, and welcome to Maiden Romance. My name is Sarah Bailey, and I'm one of your hosts. And my other host on this show is...
Hi everyone, it's Severn. I go by Sabrina, but most people call me Sab, which I prefer.
Yes, so Sab is my co-host on this show, and we essentially decided to start a podcast because we're mad. We're not mad, actually. We decided to start a podcast about romance because we're both obsessed with romance, I think.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about everything and anything to do with romance and the romance genre specifically, not just not romance movies. We're romance writers, so that's why we decided to do this podcast. So we thought we'd do a little introductory episode and just talk about ourselves. So that might not be interesting to everyone, but who cares? So I'm going to start. So obviously, as I said, I'm Sarah Bailey, and I write romance. Who'd have thought? No, let's actually be serious now. I've been writing, I guess, I'm publishing for almost 2 years now. I'm a self-published author. I have my own publishing house called Twisted Tree Publications, and I publish all of my books there. And I also have one other author who I publish, and then I've got a secret author on my books who we will be announcing possibly on this podcast at some point. It'll be quite exciting. So that's kind of my background into publishing. I write different subgenres of romance. I started writing paranormal romance, and then I graduated onto dark romances after, funnily enough, Sab who got me hooked on them. And then I also write dark contemporary and erotic romances, and now I've just started writing a reverse harem romance, which is madness, but I like to explore different avenues in my writing, of why I don't restrict myself to one subgenre. I became interested in romance when I was a teenager because one of my aunts writes and publishes romance novels, but hers are rather sweet, so they're like historical romances. And I got addicted to them. And I think writing kind of runs in my family, or the artists run in my family. So we've all got a bit of the creative gene. But yeah, mine became writing, and I've written kind of on and off since I was a teenager. I used to write really depressing poetry, some of which I will never reveal to the world because it's really embarrassing. I mean, come on, when you're a teenager you write really angsty, depressing crap. People are just, it's embarrassing. Maybe one day someone might challenge me to read one of my depressing poems from when I was a teenager, but anyway, so that's kind of where my love of romance came from. I also kind of, I guess, watched a lot of like rom-coms and, got obsessed with love. I love love because love is such a powerful force in this world, I think. And that's kind of why I write romance, I guess. And it was about 3 years ago that I started writing seriously. And I decided I wanted to do this as a career. And I kind of just, wrote a number of books, found the one that I wanted to write or wanted to publish, decided on a route for publishing, which was self-publishing. And I went ahead and published it. And so Demon's Destiny came out in, what was it, June 2018? Yeah. And that was just before we met. Mm-hmm. And yeah, now I've been publishing ever since then. And I now, as of last year, I work full-time as a writer, which is kind of mad when you think about it. Yeah, that's kind of, and I decided I wanted to kind of do this podcast because I have a really, obviously there's a lot going on in the romance land, and I wanted to explore some of those themes and talk about romance because working from home means I don't get to see humans that often, to be honest, because I'm a massive introvert. So I wanted to kind of do this podcast and have guests. So we'll be having guests on to talk about different, romance tropes and anything to do with romance, basically, we both love. And yeah, so that's me, I guess, in a nutshell. Yeah. Does anyone want to know about weird, interesting facts about me? I don't know, maybe. Oh, me and Sab share a love of cats and tea. That's as well
Yes,
as romance.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's really why we wanted to do this, because we wanted to have some fun talking about romance at the end of the day. So I will now let Sab talk about herself a little bit.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so like yourself, I write romance, but unlike Sarah, I have no books out in the world as of yet, but I'm steadily working on changing that. However, a few years ago, well before I got Twitter or had kind of any kind of insight to publishing or the writing community, who have been really supportive and have changed my life completely. I wrote a fantasy romance book and foolishly self-published that without any professional edit, critique or proofreaders because, well, I was really young and completely inexperienced and had no clue. And I very much regret that. So there you had a really kind of shoddy, well, it was a very shoddy first draft of a big book out into the world. And I was completely blind to what that meant. And it was only until I found myself an editor a few years after, a couple years after, and I started to work on the second book in the series, because I plan on it being a series. I started to realize that there was so many stages to write in, and it made me think, do you know what? Wow, I'm like on my third draft of this second book now, and my writing style's changed. I've learned a lot more about myself, about my characters, about the plot, and the world building. So much goes into fantasy that I decided to pull my book, the first book, from market. So it's no longer available. And I've decided to rewrite it completely. So it took me, I would say, I think 2 years to finish book 2. And then I've kind of done things in reverse order because I've gone back to book 1 and I've been doing a rewrite, a full, complete rewrite. And I'm on the 4th draft now, but that's currently on hold for the time being because I've been working on a contemporary romance, which is something that I've never done before. But I needed something new because the editing and the revision was getting just so much for me. And I think it was affecting me creatively. So I needed something a bit different. And doing this contemporary romance has been really insightful for me. And I've been enjoying it greatly. I've been learning again so much about myself as a writer and what I enjoy and how to kind of plan things and organize. Sometimes they don't always go to plan, and I'm sure many of you can relate when characters decide to deviate, and sometimes you just got to roll with it, Sarah. And
pretty much, yes.
So yeah, but yeah. So at the moment, my fantasy romance is on hold, and that one is mainly focused around adventure and pirates, all kinds of madness, but it's a whole bunch of fun. So yeah, so right now it's contemporary romance and I'm a lot happier for it. So, oh, and what else about me? Oh, yeah, so apart from cats and tea, I love steampunk, and that also has a lot to do with the fantasy romance that I'm writing. There's a lot of steampunk elements in there, but otherwise I just love the genre. I love the fashion. I love collecting steampunk stuff. I just love the whole thing. So I'm really crazy about it. And I love collecting teapots. So every once in a while, I'll be posting pictures of my writing space with a teapot and, you know, just there. I like to go to Comic-Con and collect loads of teapots from this cute little stall. And then I get people asking me where I get them from, but that's where I get them from. And snow globes. I love snow globes. Like, you know, when people go on holiday and they're like, "Oh, bring me back a magnet or a shot glass." I'm like, "Just get me a snow globe." And people look at me really funny, like, "A snow globe? You want me to go to Spain and get you a snow globe?" I'm like, "They do them. Like, seriously, they do them, honestly." But yeah, so that's mainly me. And I guess the reason why I completely leapt at the opportunity to co-host Made in Romance with Sarah is because I honestly can't tell you enough how many times I've needed to rant about a book or something that someone's tweeted that has just either riled me up or that I've fully supported. And Sarah and I have had so many kind of discussions and just often, or not always often, but sometimes different opinions. And I think it would just be loads of fun to expand on that with others, especially just have them in discussion and just voice a lot of our frustrations as well as our love for romance and everything surrounding it in literature and other things. And yeah, so I think that this will be a whole bunch of fun, and I really, really am looking forward to the guests that we have on the show. That'll be fun too. And yeah,
Yes, guests will be invited on the show. I would like to take this opportunity to invite anyone who wants to appear on the show as a guest to please contact me personally. You can do that either by finding me on Twitter at @SBaileyAuthor, or you can email me at sarah@sarahbaileywriter.com. So if you want to appear on the show, please don't hesitate to drop me a line. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find Sab on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter as well. if you want to go and follow us.
You can, though my mind's gone completely blank, so I'm not able to
just search for on Twitter. Just search for SR7, and then you can try and find from there.
Yeah, basically, if you're not already following me on there, but
yeah, go and follow us on social media because we're fun on social media most of the time. No, you don't have to. No, I think one of the things we're really looking forward to, we've got some really exciting topics that we've already lined up to talk about. I'm really looking forward to talking about those things. And like Sab said, I think there's a lot of things in the romance community and romance books that we like to rant about. So please be aware that there will be ranting and there will be swearing because we're both Brits and we can't help it.
Yeah, that's true. Really bad.
I know,
really bad.
We're really bad at that. But yeah, so you guys can join us. We will be doing the podcast twice a month. So and we will make sure to post everywhere on our social media platforms so you know they'll come out. You can also, we should hopefully be on all of the podcasting platforms like Apple and Spotify, so you can find us on there. And yeah, we're going to have a really good time, hopefully, doing this.
Yeah, be loads of fun.
It should be loads of fun. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you our very first episode.
Yay!
So yeah, so this is welcome again to Made in Romance, and I hope that you're going to enjoy our crazy British banter.
Yes.
Yes.
So I guess we'll catch you soon, guys.
Yeah, catch you soon, guys. We'll let you know when the first episode's out. See you guys.
Bye.